You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your IT Fundamentals certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. In this episode, we explore why data plays such a vital role in today's information technology and business environments. You will learn about how data supports operations, powers decision-making, and impacts user privacy. We will also introduce the difference between data and information, how businesses collect and use data, and why protecting that data is so important. These ideas are foundational for success on the Information Technology Fundamentals Plus exam and for understanding modern IT systems. The Information Technology Fundamentals Plus exam includes questions about the value of data and its role in business. These questions appear in Domain 5, which focuses on data and database concepts. You may be asked to define what data is, identify examples of sensitive data, or match data use cases to decision-making scenarios. You are not required to analyze data or configure data systems. Instead, your goal is to understand what data means, how it is used, and why it matters in IT environments. Data is defined as raw, unorganized facts. It could be numbers, names, timestamps, or sensor readings. On its own, data does not provide insight. Information, on the other hand, is processed data that provides meaning or value. For example, a list of sales transactions is data. When that list is analyzed to find trends in product popularity, it becomes information. On the exam, the terms data and information may sometimes be used interchangeably, but they represent distinct stages in the process of understanding facts. Data is considered valuable because it supports a wide range of operations. Organizations use data to drive decisions, streamline automation, and evaluate performance. With enough data, businesses can spot patterns or trends that lead to improvements in products or services. Because of this, data is often referred to as a strategic asset. Just like physical equipment or financial investments, data is something a company can use to grow, compete, and deliver better results. Examples of data used in business include customer purchase records, sales reports, and inventory logs. Additional examples include website visitor statistics, marketing response rates, and employee project logs. These types of data help businesses track performance and make decisions. For example, website traffic data may show which marketing campaigns are effective, while time tracking data can reveal which projects are ahead or behind schedule. Businesses collect data through many different methods. These include online forms, transaction records, sensors, and software logs. Some data is entered manually by people, while other data is gathered automatically by systems. Once collected, data may be stored in local servers, databases, or cloud-based storage. The collection process must be accurate and consistent to ensure that the data is useful for decision-making and reporting. Data helps guide business decisions in many important ways. It supports sales forecasting by revealing trends in customer behavior. It helps with budget planning by identifying areas of high or low performance. It also helps identify opportunities for improvement, such as processes that take too long or products that do not sell well. On the exam, you may be given a scenario that describes a business problem and be asked how data can be used to support a decision or suggest a solution. Data privacy is the concept of controlling how personal or sensitive information is collected, stored, and shared. Privacy involves keeping unauthorized users from accessing certain types of data and ensuring that individuals have some control over their own data. Privacy also includes protection from data being misused. For IT professionals, protecting data privacy is both a technical and ethical responsibility, especially when dealing with customer or employee data. Examples of private data include names, phone numbers, and mailing addresses. More sensitive data includes credit card numbers, login credentials, and personal health records. Even location data from smartphones or GPS systems can be considered private, especially when it reveals patterns of movement. The exam may ask you to identify examples of sensitive data or describe why it must be protected. Governments and regions around the world have passed laws to protect personal data. One well-known example is the General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, used in the European Union. While the Information Technology Fundamentals Plus exam does not require detailed knowledge of specific laws, it may reference basic ideas about regulations that protect individual privacy. These frameworks usually require businesses to inform users about data collection and to store and use that data responsibly. Data access and responsibility is a key topic in IT. Not everyone in an organization should have access to all types of data. Sensitive data must be limited to only those who need it for their job. Systems often use roles and permissions to enforce this. For example, an HR manager might access employee data, while a sales associate might only see customer orders. The exam may refer to this as access control, and understanding this concept is essential for responsible data management. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. When data is handled poorly, the consequences can be severe for both businesses and individuals. A data breach can expose sensitive customer information, leading to a loss of trust and financial penalties. If data is inaccurate or outdated, the decisions made based on that data may be flawed. Poor data handling can lead to compliance violations, lawsuits, and reputational harm. On the Information Technology Fundamentals Plus exam, these risks may be referenced to show why responsible data use is so important. Storing data securely is a critical part of protecting it from loss, theft, or damage. Businesses must ensure that their data storage systems have appropriate protections in place, such as encryption or controlled access. Secure storage also helps maintain business continuity by keeping vital information available during emergencies or hardware failures. Backing up data to separate systems or locations is another important practice that helps preserve information even when devices or systems malfunction. Many of the services we use every day rely on data to provide personalized experiences. For example, online recommendation engines suggest products based on your browsing or purchase history. Targeted advertising uses past behavior to show ads that are more relevant to individual users. Analytics tools help businesses understand customer engagement and identify what content or services are most popular. These services use data to adapt to user needs and improve performance. Anonymization and de-identification are techniques used to protect personal data while still allowing it to be analyzed. Anonymization removes all identifying information so the data cannot be linked back to a specific person. De-identification masks or substitutes sensitive details to reduce the risk of exposure. These techniques are especially useful when working with large datasets, such as medical records or user behavior reports. The exam may introduce these terms when discussing how private data can be protected during analysis. Understanding who owns and is responsible for data is another important topic in information management. In some cases, individuals retain ownership of their data, especially when it involves personal information. In other cases, organizations may control data collected through their systems. Ownership determines who is accountable for the data's protection, use, and accuracy. Legal and ethical responsibilities apply to whoever stores or processes the data, whether it is an individual, a company, or a government agency. It is also important to distinguish between structured and unstructured data. Structured data is organized into defined fields, such as rows and columns in a table. This makes it easy to search, sort, and analyze. Examples include databases, spreadsheets, and forms. Unstructured data does not follow a fixed format. It includes things like emails, videos, social media posts, and audio recordings. Each type of data requires different storage methods and tools for analysis. Recognizing this difference is essential for selecting appropriate solutions. Data powers many everyday business decisions. For instance, companies use location and traffic data to optimize delivery routes and reduce fuel costs. They adjust inventory levels based on sales patterns and reorder points. Websites use user interaction data to personalize content for each visitor, increasing engagement and satisfaction. These data-driven decisions improve efficiency, save money, and enhance customer experience. On the exam, such examples may be used to illustrate how data influences outcomes. There are several terms you should recognize and understand for the exam. These include data, information, privacy, access, and sensitive. You should also know terms like decision-making, collection, and regulation. Each of these reflects a different aspect of how data is used or managed. For example, access refers to who can retrieve data, while sensitive identifies information that needs extra protection. Knowing these definitions helps you interpret exam questions more accurately and choose the correct responses. The exam will not require you to perform complex technical tasks related to data. You will not be asked to program, encrypt files, or write privacy policies. You are also not expected to perform data classification or apply specific regulatory rules. The focus remains on understanding why data matters, what roles it plays in business and technology, and what basic principles guide its responsible use. Questions will typically involve identifying terms, understanding examples, or matching scenarios to the correct concepts. To summarize, data plays a central role in modern IT and business environments. It helps organizations make decisions, understand customers, improve services, and protect privacy. From structured tables to free-form media, data takes many forms and supports many functions. By learning how data is collected, stored, used, and protected, you gain a strong foundation for the Information Technology Fundamentals Plus exam. Understanding its value and impact is essential for anyone entering the world of information technology. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.